What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about a full remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 with modern gameplay and improved ending on the roadmap. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Netflix considered buying EA, Disney, or I forget the other one. They wanted to buy somebody, so we'll talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about Battlefield 6 drops a massive December update, but they also, we're actually going to talk about this other one where it says, we're not doing a good enough job with Portal right now. Battlefield 6 dev says, players are making fantastic creations that nobody is seeing because of technical issues. No, that's because of, it's a horrendous UI, and it's super hard to find anything on the thing, just like any other Netflix, Hulu type of stuff that's out there. And whatever else we do this morning, we just go over a couple of news stories, have conversation. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Good morning, chat. Good morning, Eclipse, Aku, Big Mo, Travis, Roic. Good morning, Jason, Sarge, Kylo. Was that Michelle and Little Beastie? What's going on? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Award, good morning. Jesse Mack. Am I missing anybody? No? Okay. I think that's everyone that's said something in chat. Real quick, I think it was Roic. Roic, was it yesterday? Yesterday you said, isn't Netflix in debt? And I said, I don't think so. I think they're doing really well. Well, I did some research, and you're absolutely correct. I think it was Roic that said it. If it wasn't, it was Kylo. One of you guys said it. Yeah, like Netflix is in debt like $70 billion. Right? Which is like blows my mind that obviously they're in debt because of all the money that they've spent on production and whatnot to try to make their original content. Hence why I think they want to buy Warner Brothers really bad. But $70 billion, can you imagine $70 billion buying $50 billion in debt? Like, what are we talking about? Right? A $70 billion debt company is buying a $50 billion debt company. Man, it's like we live in, what a world we live in. So yeah, so you were 100% correct yesterday when you said, aren't they in debt? And I was like, I don't think so, because they're talked about all the time as being the number one streaming platform and whatnot. But there you go. Yeah, debt buys debt. You know what's funny? Like, if you miss a credit card payment of like $57, they're after you, right? And tarnish your credit. Meanwhile, a company can be $70 billion in debt, and they can go buy a $50 billion debt company. They're like, well, it's positive 20. It's like, what? Doesn't make sense. All right, what's going on, Krebsy? Let's go over the first story, which is KOTOR. Okay, if you guys like what I do, we just do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Just get you a couple hours through your day. We just go over news stories, give you my thoughts and opinions, and then we get your thoughts and opinions with the live chat. So if you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. So a full remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 with modern gameplay and improved ending is on the roadmap, according to Lucasfilm Games executive. So the KOTOR 1 remake apparently now in development at Mad Head Games, the Hellraiser revealed studio. Okay, it says a new report on a lawsuit over canceled DLC of Aspire's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 remaster was revealed. Some much bigger details about the KOTOR remake that Lucasfilm Games planned afterwards. Okay, it seems a full remake of KOTOR 2 is also planning stages, complete with an array of fixes of game's original, infamously unfinished ending. That's according to Lucasfilm Games VP Douglas Riley, who spoke about the project's part disposition over the missing DLC this past March. Riley's comments also just surfaced in a new game file report where discuss Juliet is also the code name for KOTOR 2 remake. Juliet was also codenamed for the project where they were also going to do a full remake of KOTOR 2 with the modern art, also modern gameplay, keep the story of the characters of the general and the general content of KOTOR 2, but remake it in a modern, I hate that word, by the way, in a modern, what's going on, Sweat Dog? Okay, in a modern modern hardware and modern machines, also update graphics. These also kind of things Riley explained. It was something we were discussing with Aspire. Here's the thing. KOTOR 1 and 2, fantastic freaking games, man. Fantastic games. Okay, if you love Star Wars, if you love those types of games, fantastic games. Okay, if they're going to come in and modernize the art, they better not do what they did with like Grand Theft Auto, where they ported them over to like the mobile devices and made it like look better but didn't look better. Like, if you're going to do this, you need to make it where they're like, I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 graphics. Okay, if you're going to do KOTOR. Otherwise, just leave it alone, right? Just leave it alone. We don't need you to mess up what KOTOR was, because I know, remember those articles earlier in the year talking about how they were going to change the story inside of KOTOR. It's like, if you're going to remake it, then just remake it. Don't change stuff in the remake. Okay? It says the remake of KOTOR 1 was announced back in 2021, but Sue seemed to hit development troubles, as Aspire reports suggested that the work had shifted to Saber Interactive Studios, but the details of the developer were never actually revealed at the time. However, Riley confirmed that they moved to Mad Hat Games, the studio behind upcoming Hellraiser reveal. It says, notably, the official site of Mad Hat Games says that the studio has another unannounced AAA game based on the famous and beloved IP in the works, and KOTOR remake would certainly qualify here. There have been strings recently about the Old Republic flavored game being revealed soon, and while those rumors have not been substantiated, the Impended Game Awards on December 11th would be a perfect venue for KOTOR to remake a remerge. Okay, it says such an announcement would also even be more exciting to remake the sequel, where they follow the KOTOR launched in 2004 with the ending that many players, myself included, the person writing the article, felt at the time was anticlimactic, right? Unsatisfying. And soon after the game hit PC, modders discovered evidence in the game file suggesting that it was much of the ending's content and some of the other elements of the game were cut before release, likely due to the time constraints put on the developer Obsidian. After years of work, fans eventually released the restored content modification, which implements many of the story elements and other features original devs cut from the game. When Aspire released KOTOR 2 remastered for the Switch on 2022, it had plans to also release the RCM project as DLC, and the first-time console players would also get the chance to play it. DLC was released eventually canceled, prompting a false advertising lawsuit against Aspire. So the details of the lawsuit are primarily subjective of the new game file report, but in short, it seems that the DLC was also canceled because Disney lawyers got cold feet about their ability to fully secure the rights to the modders' work. Okay. Even with the disruption of KOTOR 1 remake development, the project is still technically on the roadmap, according to Riley, and it also will be subject to the same legal issues that killed the restored content DLC. The plan was also, we could also make the content of the RCM as relates to Star Wars in the Juliet project, Riley said. Here's hoping that the plan remains intact. So, let me ask you guys in chat and in the comment section down below. One, have you played the original work? Have you played KOTOR 1 or KOTOR 2? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section down below. And if so, would you want a remake of the same thing, or do you kind of just want to? Because there's always a thing now, right? Because obviously they're making it because they want to make money. They don't want to make something new, right? They could make KOTOR 3, but they don't want to do that. They want to rehash and remake stuff so they can make money from you that you've already did with the nostalgia. But then they go back and change the thing that you loved or beloved, okay? And they make it different. They're like, oh, we're keeping it the same game, but it's not the same game. And sometimes the changes they make are worse off for the game than better. So my question to you, chat, is do you want a remake, okay, of the game? Or do you just kind of want an update of the game where it's the exact same game as it was before? They just beautify the cosmetics, the visuals of it, and then leave it as is? Or do you want a full-blown remake as they're making where they are changing from a different story, not in this story, where they are changing story elements inside the game? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you guys like what I do here, check out some of other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. Let's see. Brainchild says, I feel like they've improved the ending was only the thing truly needing quotations. Let's see here. Eclipse says the cheesecake, a holiday dish, is also cheesecake is awesome, but I kind of eat it whenever I want. Cheesecake to me is not really a holiday thing. It's more of a Thursday night. I want to eat cheesecake. I used to go to Cheesecake Factory and I used to get the just plain cheesecake, just a personal, like just a full cheesecake. I used to eat that whole fucking thing. Loved it. Mo says, Eclipse, I make a mean cheesecake. Mo makes good food, man. He posts pictures in Discord. He does barbecue. If I ever go back out to California, I'm making a stop. I'm making a pit stop over at Mo's house. If I'm invited or not, I'm gonna show up. Eclipse says KOTOR 2 is awesome if you have the content restored mod. If you don't, do not. It's a trash game. Wait, if you do not. It's a trash game. What's going on, Dolphin? Good morning. You never played them? They're good games, Mo. You would like them. Well, are you a fan of those types of games, like a Mass Effect type of game, like BioWare old type of games? Like, are you a fan of those? If you are, KOTOR is a must, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. It's a fantastic game. Brainchild says, I'd rather have a remaster instead of a remake. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, you know me, I'm not a big fan of either of them. I have that game. I'll just go put that game in and play that game. You know what I mean? I don't really need an update personally myself. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy it. Maybe there's one or two games I would do it for. Dolphin says, yes, and hearing this game for 10 years is just dumb. Announce it or don't. Dolphin's like, I'm just done with this. Look, are you coming out? Are you coming out or not coming out? Eclipse says, no, just make it better looking. Don't change shit. Do not modernize the old games. Just give it to me, HD upscale and 60 frames per second. I'm fine. Roic says, movies are doing it as well. It seems to remake everything, remaster it, and not remake it. Yeah, what boggles my mind for the movie thing, Roic, go look at like Jurassic Park. Okay. Jurassic Park in 1992 is better than any of the Jurassic Parks you see today. But imagine if they remade Jurassic Park instead of just upping. You don't need to up it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just 4Kify it. You know what I mean? Make it, even though old school movies are pristine. You know when they do it for like Star Wars and stuff, they just take it and then they make it more beautiful, or they take an old movie that was in black and white and making it into color like they did for Wizard of Oz back in the day. Like, that's all you need to do for movies like that. Keep the original thing and just upgrade it, right? You don't need to remake it. You can just upgrade the same thing. We don't need the same movie again. Look what happened to Running Man, stuff like that. You could have taken the old one and just beautified it for current, right? Visually. Same story, leave it as is. But instead, they would rather go spend $250 million, $300 million to make the film, and then it bombs in the box office. Dolphin says, let's let the fans suffer and think we're doing shit. Apparently, Dolphin, did you just get off work? Did you sleep yet? You sound like you're a little angry this morning. Like, fucking tell us or don't tell us. Jesse says, please don't fuck up KOTOR. 2 don't do Aspire did with Battlefront, the classic collection, right? That's multiplayer, right? That was multiplayer. They screwed that classic collection up big time. It's a shame, too. Michelle says, I played the first one, second one with my daughter's father, and I prefer the original story as it feels nostalgic. That's the big thing, though, right? This is why they're doing what they're doing. This is nostalgia, and you're like, oh my God, I had such a good time playing that game. I'm going to play it again. But sometimes they just screw it up, and they try to put stuff in. What was the other game that we recently talked about where they were removing the story? What game was that? Was that KOTOR? There was another game where they were like removing they were removing something from the game. Oh, no, it was Halo. The remake of Halo they're doing with the Unreal Engine 5. They're like putting the prequel stuff in, like prequels missions in, but they're also like changing stuff from the main campaign. It's like, why? Just leave it. There was another game too. I forget what it was. But Dog says, pointless remake for me. Made more sense to make 3. Feel like 2 was around forever, and just remake seems really lazy. Minimal viable product. Minimal viable product, yeah. Why not make... KOTOR 1 was a huge hit. KOTOR 2 was very successful, and yet they're like, yeah, let's not make a KOTOR 3. Let's just rehash the stuff that we've already created. Michelle says, my daughter and I preferred the first edition of the trilogy, not their edits by George Lucas. Yeah, I don't like... Look, let me get this out, right? Lucas is allowed to do what he wants because Lucas is the creator of Star Wars, and he created what he could with the technology he had, and if it wasn't there, then he had to make it. And then as technology got better, he was like, you know what? This is my actual original vision, so he does it. And I was okay with that because it's his thing. Where like other studios do it, they don't own the IP, but they want to change stuff and do things. And so both the same, but one's a little different because Lucas is the creator. It's his thing. It's his child, right? So him changing it, I agree with you though, right? I don't like the re-edits he does, but I understand. I just didn't like when he came out with the re-edits that they would get away with the other ones. It's hard to find the old ones because he doesn't want you to watch the older versions because they were inferior in his head, even though we like those. Like if you ever watch the Laserdisc version of Star Wars, it's probably the best version of Star Wars. Travis says, I enjoy cooking. It's very relaxing. I hate it. Hate it. I'm very stressed the entire time I cook. I appreciate that, Mo. If I'm ever out there, which I doubt I will be. I loved San Francisco. I love San Francisco and Napa area. We were actually wanted to take a trip out there in the next couple years, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Travis says, Mass Effect is why me and Mo are friends. That's the only reason. Yeah. Eclipse says, I would love for the first KOTOR to get a controller support on PC. Altered says, come on, like Beyond Good and Evil 2. It will come out like Beyond Good and Evil 2. Oh, God. Jason says, how are you going to remake KOTOR 2 when they can't even get one out? Very true. Eclipse says, so Magic Dolphin, what you're saying is KOTOR has been a prairie dogging it for a decade now. Fire Gaming Lover says, make worse version, then wait a couple couples to fix it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Beyond Good and Evil 1, I love that one. Yeah, good luck waiting for number 2. It's been 17 years. 17 years in development, by the way. Do they have a 4K Jurassic Park? Because I think I need that. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Aku says he needs his Snickers bar. Yeah, Dolphin seems a little angry this morning. He seems a little on edge this morning. It's okay though. It's all right. Roic says they were removing the modern day parts, right? Maybe. Or no, they were probably adding them. They're probably adding them in. Altern says GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas Remaster remove certain things, at least on the launch. I don't know if they ended up adding some of them, those things or not. I was like, strong dialogue, and I didn't buy it, obviously, but I saw what they did, and it made it worse, if you ask me. Like, their thing made it worse. Dolphin says, baby mama drama. $5 super chat. See, I knew there was something. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Dolphin. Yeah, I can tell he's on edge. He's typing angry. He's even screaming right now, right? Like, he's screaming, baby mama drama. He's really... Hope it gets better for you. Brooke says, the best remaster I've ever played was the Legendary Collection of Mass Effect. I never played the Legendary Collection. And it's on Game Pass. I just never did. I own Mass Effect. one of my favorite franchises. 2 is one of my top 5 games of all time. I love it. Sarge says, Laserdisc Director's Cut, simply the best. Yeah, it's the best. There's no other answer. No one can tell me otherwise. The Laserdisc Director's Cut is the best Star Wars, hands down. No Mass Effect, no Friends. Michelle says, question to you all. Are my daughter and I only ones who prefer Jabba the Hutt as a human? We prefer the version of the film best. You know, I actually like... One, I didn't like the casting. When you see that footage of Jabba as a human, I actually like him as the, what he is that we know today over human, right? That's why I like Star Wars. I like Star Wars that brings in the alien creatures involved in it. You know what I mean? That's me personally. But it is kind of weird. I mean, I guess if we never saw what Jabba is today, I think it would be fine if he was a human. Travis says, come on, Michelle. Clearly the best is Pizza the Hut. I love when in Spaceballs where his henchman like takes a bite of him. He's like, oh, you're delicious, boss. You're delicious. Jesse Mack says, I love black and white Godzilla movies. Robic says, I like Pizza the Hut. Slim says, I actually recently got a collection of the director's cut on VHS. Just a random thing I found. And it had a yard sale. I had to buy it. Obviously, the Laserdisc is going to be super hard to find. And having a Laserdisc player, I don't even have one anymore. But the Laserdisc player or the Laserdisc is the best. If you could find someone that has a Laserdisc or go somewhere where someone is showing the Laserdisc, it's the best version. The best version. Travis says, you know what they should remake, Mike? Shadows of the Empire. There's a lot of games that were awesome back in the day. Star Wars, we look at it now, Travis, there was so many Star Wars games. So many Star Wars games in the past. And there's really not that many now, right? Really not that many now compared to what it was in the past to what it is today. All right. So let's go from that story. Let's see. Let's talk about Battlefield 6. Okay, there's 2 stories. I think this other first story is Battlefield 6 drops massive update, but I think we already read this last week, didn't we? Let me just skim this real fast to see. Yeah, we already read this one. So I'm just gonna go to this one, this story here. Okay. I'm gonna go to this story, which is we're not doing a good job with Portal right now. Battlefield 6 dev says players are making fantastic creations that nobody is seeing because of technical issues. Okay. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also go to the merch store down below. You can also go to Spotify or anywhere else that you can listen to music, podcasts, and support us that way as well. YouTube is not receiving enough video information. We might pause here for a second, let that go by as we sit here and wait for the error, which I don't understand because my computer says, so it's got to be a YouTube thing. Okay. Right now I'm at 8,000 kilobits per second, 0 drop frames, and nothing is happening on my end. But yet YouTube's ingest server or something's happening and it's just not, it's not going through all the way. So we'll just wait. I won't say anything important for a couple of minutes here. We're back. We just had a little hiccup. All right, is it over? Mine still says error. Mine still says, oh, excellent condition. All right, we're back. We're back. All right. All right. It's because we said Battlefield 6. EA's like, he's live. He said Battlefield 6. Michelle says, my daughter and I prefer him as a creepy villain. But to see your point, my daughter just found out the human Jabba, that the Hutt Creeper, then the Emperor. But as far as the Alien film, I agree. It's an iconic figure. Argus says, I've had 0 hiccups. What's going on, Argus? The whole time you're also saying you were having issues. Yeah, for some reason, Argus, it doesn't affect everybody. I don't know why or how it works. We get up to a certain, and we can have conspiracy theories about this, but every time we like break over a certain number, YouTube says they throttle me. All right. It says, we're not doing a good enough job with Portal right now. Battlefield 6 dev says players are making fantastic creations that nobody is seeing because of technical issues. Okay. When I sat down to chat with Ripple Effect studio designer, director Justin Wiebe, okay, last week, they plan to talk about RedSec. Wiebe helped the lead and charge on Battlefield 6 Battle Royale mode developed primarily at Los Angeles-based Ripple Effect. But on the day, we ended up chatting more about Portal, its expansive feature set, boundless potential. Let me highlight that right there. Boundless potential. Boundless potential. Okay. You know what also had boundless potential? Anthem. You know what else had boundless potential? Marvel's Avengers. Portal's been in the game. Portal's been here for 4 years. There was boundless potential for Portal in 2042, and they did nothing with it. Okay. It says why Battlefield Studios is currently doing enough to evaluate community creations. Elevate community creations. It was immediately clear that Wiebe loves Portal. He worked on the first iteration of Battlefield 6 level editing, publishing platform during Battlefield 2042's development, but back when the toolset was, in his words, more like a Battlefield builder than anything. Okay. It says in that game, Portal was squarely focused on mashing up different eras of Battlefield, and you could pit futuristic jets versus World War II planes, summon bots, and tweak rules to your heart's content, but without complex of scripting or the ability to place new geometry and creative ceilings was low. Okay. You mean you make the stuff and then let us place the stuff, right? Like you make the toys and then we take the toys and we make whatever we want. Now what they're doing is you just make our work. You just do our work for us. Okay. And the people were phenomenal at stretching out what they build, do some amazing things, but they can also had to really work hard, Wiebe told the PC Gamer. And other big limitations was a lack of persistent servers. If I created an experience, I had to be online hosting the experience when people logged in, or they would also not be able to play, he said. So there was also almost zero chance for something to go viral. That's another thing, right? Something to go viral, right? They're trying to get the Among Us. They're trying to get the Fortnite. They're trying to get the other things. Instead of just making a game and selling the game, they want other people to make the stuff for them to try to go viral. Okay. It says those are the two big problems that Battlefield Studios strive to solve in Battlefield 6 Portal. Wiebe eyes lit up as he described the neat level editor nestled into the free Godot game engine. Okay. He says the web-based custom UI tools and persistent server functionality that Battlefield 6 shipped with. He says Portal is seriously impressive, but it's gotten off to a rocky start because it wasn't ready. Because this game wasn't supposed to come out until spring. Okay. At launch. The Portal browser was inundated with XP farms, clogged up all the server space, and that's been cleared up, and now folks are finally exploring the tool set with the sort of map remixes and goofy minigames. That flourished in the shooters in early era, and a lesser degree still do it like Fortnite and Roblox, okay? Which I fundamentally, if I was EA, if I was up high in EA, and someone approached me and said, we should make Portal like Fortnite. We should make Portal like Roadblocks. I would say no. They're like, well, we can make millions. And I said, no, because you ruin what the brand identity is for Battlefield. Okay. Battlefield is not a Fortnite. Battlefield is not a Roadblocks. Battlefield is not what that is. Battlefield is a specific large scale warfare with vehicles and whatnot. Okay. With a large amount of people working together to do the thing. That's not what these other games are. Okay. It would not fit this. 100% I wouldn't do it. They're like, yeah, but you would lose millions. Be like, I don't care. That's the identity of what it is. That's what we're sticking with. Okay. But the million plus people playing Battlefield 6 daily, not everyone Many of them are in Portal servers, which Weeby considers a current failure of the feature. Yeah, because you're breaking up the people that are playing Battlefield. The Battlefield players don't want to play Portal. They want to play Battlefield. They want you to make the game and then them to enjoy the game. They don't want to sit after my 8-hour shift, and not me personally, but a regular person that works for a living, come home and then go, you know what? I'm going to sit there and make another thing. I want to work. I'm going to pay $70 so I can make a game mode so other people can play. There are people out there like that, but majority of the people want to come home, play a map, and then relax. They don't want to sit there and have a second job, right? Now, is Battlefield giving money out to people that are making these maps? And do they get paid? If so, well, then maybe you can have a second job on the side. Okay? It says we're not doing a good enough job right now in surfacing Portal experiences. What the rest of the community play, he said, there's actually one technical issue that we've been waiting to fix in order to be able to do that, which is painful, right? He says, I just want the community creations to be shared. I want them to go wide. I just also have been checking them every day asking, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Because we really want to roll this stuff out because the creations are fantastic. Well, imagine in a world, chat, in a world where the developers that took 5 years and 5 studios created a thing and it was done when it actually launched. In a world. It's like a what if moment in fucking Marvel. Okay? It says Weeby didn't specifically what technical issues was holding Portal back at the moment, but part of the discovery problem was obvious upon loading Battlefield 6 main menu. Players have not held back the extremely negative feedback for Battlefield's current menus. It's one of the biggest losers of its ugly, slow Netflix UI is Portal couched way, down and bloated in playlist bundles. They knew this was a problem before the beta. Right? The first beta, week 1 of the beta, when it came out, they're like, this UI is terrible. Somebody fixed it for them in a weekend. In a weekend. We went over that video. A person that's not with EA, that doesn't work for DICE, literally fixed the UI issue in the beta. And yet, here we are, 4.5 months later from when the guy created the actual fix for the UI, and they're like, yeah, it's just going to take a while to fix this. It's so ridiculous. Just above the campaign, everybody's uninstalled 2 months ago, this community tab where Portal lives, assuming you've scrolled down far enough to know it's there. You might notice that 1 or 2 recommended Portal modes, but you're more likely to get confused by the obtuse browser experience screen before retreating back to Conquest. That's because nobody cares about Portal because they want to play Conquest. They want to play Rush. They want to play Battlefield. I don't want to sit there. I want to watch a movie. How many can relate to this? You want to watch a movie and you're like, I want to watch this movie. What's it on? Is it on Amazon? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Hulu? Is it on HBO? Right? You're like, first you got to decide what movie you want to watch and what platform it's on. Okay? Then when you get to the platform, you're scrolling, you're like, oh, I want to watch a movie, but I don't know what movie to watch, right? Unless it's the top 10 voted movies or TV shows, and you want to watch something else, but you don't know what you want to watch, this is it. This is what you're doing. You're constantly going down the list. Unless you know what you want, you can search for it, okay? You're just browsing, and it takes 20, 35 minutes to figure out something. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to watch YouTube instead. Right? And here we are. Hello. I know you guys didn't find what you wanted to watch on Netflix, so you decided to watch me instead, and I appreciate that. Hit that like button down below. Okay? But it's a terrible system. The UI system in these streaming services are terrible. So Battlefield, right? Here we go again. Error message. Because we're talking too much crap about Battlefield. Okay? They don't know what to do. Yet the fix has already been fixed for them. The UI system's already been fixed. Right? I got an error message happening on my side. Okay? Assuming you've been scrolled down far enough, you also see the thing. Notice the recommended portals. Okay? They just want to play Conquest. The belittle portals section, okay, is far cry from the core pillar of Battlefield 6 and the Battlefield Studios sold it ahead at launch. People are still finding and making cool stuff despite the noise, but Weeby says it's important that the studio course corrects soon. Okay? He says, quote, I believe that we have the right ingredients, Weeby said. No fingers crossed. So fingers crossed, if we get the resolve really quick, here will start to help Portal thrive in the community. So there you go. Okay. They can't find it because of the UI, right? The UI, but they didn't go into what the UI problems were. But they can't find it. Too many people are making stuff that are so cool. You can't find it or it can't go viral because, reasons. Instead of just making the game of Battlefield and then playing Battlefield, you have to wait for people to make Battlefield maps better than the maps that the creators made themselves. But then you can't find it. So the company is waiting for other people to make the game, okay? To make the game, and then waiting for those people to make the game to also promote the game, to also tell you which one is the best maps for the people to play so they can benefit off of your work. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Are you playing Battlefield 6 still? And if you are playing Battlefield 6, are you playing Portal? Have you played Portal? Did you play Portal in 2042? And is Portal much better for you in Battlefield 6? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me scroll back up here. Michelle says, are we getting a season 2 of Ahsoka? I don't know. It didn't do very well. So their budgets, did you see, Michelle, that they recently their budgets came out? Disney said that their budgets for their shows were like one number, but then the actual number came out, and none of them are profitable. None of them have been profitable because they don't have enough people on Disney Plus. Jesse says, wait. You said to all the players you don't want allowed players let me read that again, Jesse. Wait. You said that to all the players you don't want allow players what they want to make. For me, this is bullshit corporate talk. Eclipse says, I think we'll be the PC community was also a number 10 on the most wanted PC list. Oh, you're talking to Travis for that. Let's see here. Sarge says, you want EA to pay people to make content for the game? If they don't pay their own people, that's true. Let me see. Michelle says, I've been following the HBO Max sale. I'm surprised when the list of franchises being sold, also The Last of Us, isn't listed. They know some that they hate. Yeah, they don't own. So The Last of Us is paid for by HBO, but it's not part of WB, right? So The Last of Us not listed because Sony owns that. That's why. Dolphin says, I will say I bought Battlefield 6 and played it for about an hour until 2 weeks ago. And played an hour until 2 weeks ago. Wait. You bought Battlefield 6 and played an hour until 2 weeks ago. An hour. You only played 1 hour? Dolphin says, my biggest complaint is I didn't know when the fuck I was in a party or not. Interesting. Mr. Z says, my son loved Forge. He was in the 10th grade with no life but games. Yeah, but that's when he's 10, right? Now when you're older, it's hard to get to that. Could have watched half a movie after you don't find a movie. Right. It takes 45 minutes to find something in the UI system. It's terrible. Most of you guys are arguing with Travis. Sarge says, here's an idea. How about EA gives up the licensing since they really don't give a damn about it? Let the gamers make the game that we don't better do a better job. Yeah, it's just weird to me that, remember, Sarge, the game wasn't supposed to come out now. The game was supposed to come out in spring because Grand Theft Auto was supposed to come out this year. Then it got pushed back to May, which then got pushed back to November. Okay, this game was actually supposed to be pushed back. They've had major issues. We do have another story here. I think we've already talked about this one, but this came out 3 hours ago. But I think they're also just talking about the same stuff we've already talked to about it last week. Okay. But let's see, right? It says Battlefield 6 dropped a massive December update. Okay. Battlefield 6 developer DICE has released a brand new update for its smash hit first person shooter. Let's see. I know it's a smash hit, but we always have to go back to looking at what the Steam charts say, because that's the only numbers that we have, right? So I want to see what the smash hit. Oh, they're below. Oh yeah. Let's go. Their peaks were Tuesday when Rensec came out. Then it was Sunday. Then it was Sunday again. Then this is Sunday. Then that's Sunday. That's last week's Sunday. And then this was the Sunday. So they've gone in 1 month's time. In 1 month's time, they started here. Okay. This is the Sunday. Their first Sunday, 656. Then we have 1 Sunday, 2 Sundays, 3 Sundays, 4 Sundays, 5 Sundays, 6 Sundays, 7 Sundays, 8 Sundays. In their 9th Sunday, they've lost almost 600,000 concurrent players. 600,000 concurrent players. Right? A lot. That's a lot of people they've lost. Okay, so 2 months. 2 months in 1 week, they've lost 600,000 concurrent players on Steam. I don't know what they've lost, obviously, on console. Now, they did sell 10 million copies, as per se. Okay, the update available to download now to all supported platforms, which includes PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. But Battlefield 6 fans should be aware that the new content included in today's Winter Offensive patch won't be live a game until 12 p.m. UTC. On October 28th, DICE released the first major content update for Battlefield 6 with Season 1, while the update also brought a new map mode, weapons, and even free-play Battle Royale title known as the Battlefield RedSec. Alongside it, DICE has continued to support the shooter's first season with a steady stream of content updates over the last few weeks. Excuse me. The second update for the Season 1, known as California Resistance, launched a few weeks later on November 18th. It brought another new map to Battlefield 6 along with limited time mode, weapons, and more. Now the studio has just launched the third and final update for Season 1, known as the Winter Offensive. Okay. Once again, the fans give the reason to jump back into Battlefield 6 and RedSec. So you're telling me they've had major updates multiple times in the 9 weeks, and yet the player base keeps falling? Not good. Not good. There's no word on when Season 2 Battlefield 6 will be released, but the potential reveal could just be a few weeks away from the final content update for Season 1. Officially available to download, the install and now across PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, according to the official patch notes, which also can be found further down the article. The Winter Offensive update brings tons of new content for players to jump back into, including winter-themed versions of the Empire State, featuring frozen streets and seasonal environment visuals. Fans can also check out the new time-limited multiplayer gauntlet mode, known as the Ice Lock Gauntlet, which also is playable cross-domination, conquest, gauntlet mission variations on ice-locked Empire State features and event-limited freeze mechanic. Alongside the plethora of new content, including the latest Battlefield 6 update, players can now expect some big changes, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements. What are we, 2.5 months now into the game, and they're still making changes and fixes, including quick aim adjustments, firing before a zoom completes, and close quarter fights with many players. It's also enhanced close range soldier visibility, a stronger character highlight, and improved prone animation to help soldiers stand out more clearly in low contrast and visual busy areas. Okay. Other changes for Winter Offense include refined weapon handling for more consistent accuracy, improved reliability across several core gadgets, strengthened vehicle clarity and interaction adjustments to break through rush layouts across multiple maps in order to improve attacker-defender balance, and a broad audio pass to improve combat replayability or reability, allowing cleaner footsteps and movement cues. Imagine having all these things, I don't know, in the game when it launched 2 months ago. Maybe you wouldn't have this loss. Okay. This is my problem with modern games. Okay. Again, we're having our third problem with YouTube, even though I've had no issues on my side over here. We're going to pause for a second because, again, it dropped. I don't know what's happening. don't know what's happening on my side. You guys, am I still live for you guys? Obviously, if you're not, you can't hear me say that. But right, my problem with the modern gaming industry is put a broken, buggy product out, right? And this is me being a broken record, okay? But I'm gonna say it over and over and over and over and over, and maybe it'll stick with some of you guys, and maybe it won't, okay? But when a game comes out, you're having fun with Battlefield or Call of Duty or Arc Raiders or whatever it is, right? Games come out, and some games are phenomenal. They're fantastic, okay? Look at the difference between Arc Raiders, which has been out a month now, okay, and a Battlefield game, right? There are fixes going on in Arc Raiders and adjusting stuff, okay, based on what the players are doing, but they're not fixing their game. You understand what I'm saying? They're not fixing something that's super broke, which is pretty much everything in most games, right? Battlefield 6, and before Battlefield 6, there was Battlefield 2042, and before Battlefield 2042, there was Battlefield 5. Every single time that Battlefield comes out of the game is broke, buggy, and unfinished when it comes out. And then they fix it over the time, okay? Again, look at Outlaws when it came out. Look at Skull and Bones when it came out. Look at a lot of these games that come out, Monster Hunter, okay? These games come out, they sell extremely well day one, week one, and all of these other things. And then it drops off a cliff. Why? Right? You would think that it drops off the cliff because, oh, well, people bought it and played it and then put it down. No, they bought it and then waited for the game to be finished. And then they do updates and you get these little things that happen. I mean, look at this. From where it was to where it dropped, okay? And then it was RedSec that came back to bring it back to life, like a quick little jump start. And then it just slowly over the next month, okay, 2 months, right? Has RedSec been out? About a month and a half, right? Is now back lower than what it was over here. If RedSec didn't come out, this number would have been down here sooner. It would have been here back over in like beginning of November, okay? And the only reason this keeps happening, I have a video on this, okay? We are the problem. Customers are the problem. Stop pre-ordering. Stop buying day one, okay? Stop paying full price for half-ass garbage, okay? If you want better games, and I mean better games, meaning the game is not being fixed over the next 6 to 8 to 12 months, okay? It's out and working day one, okay? And if you don't pre-order, and you don't buy day one, and you don't buy week one, let me tell you, this number wouldn't happen as much because it would just crater because the game's not very good. And they would learn the lesson, and then they would put stuff out that's actually done when it comes out, regardless if it's live servers or not. It would come out in a better shape, okay, live servers or not, if people just stop buying games day one because you want to have fun. You can have fun with lots of things that work. There's games out there that work day one. You have to give your money to those people, not the people that are giving you half-ass games. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what I do here. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Let me scroll back up and see what you guys are saying. Sarge says, EA wanted holiday sales, bro. This is why they released early. Oh, 100%. We know that. We said that. Michelle says, I've had a sad Disney story to tell. I canceled my Disney Plus subscriptions in October. They charged my card on November 3rd. The entire year. Oh. Wait. You canceled Disney Plus subscription in October, but they charged your card, so now you have a full year of Disney Plus? Oh. Well. You should be able to cancel. You can cancel anytime. Unless you sign another contract. Sarge says, not sure if that's a sad story here, Michelle. You might get congratulated in here. Let's see what else. Travis is in an argument I'm not even reading your full thing, but you guys are going back and forth. I can't wait till later when you say, why do people say certain things and do certain things? And then there's an apology or something down the line, and then it stops for a couple days, and then you start arguing with people again in the channel. It happens periodically. Every it's like a 2-week cycle. Like a 2-week cycle. Dolphin says, I have disposable income, and my IRL friends are retarded. Don't do what I do when I buy these games. Like a public service announcement. This is Dolphin. I have disposable income. My IRL friends are retarded. Don't do what I do and buy these games. G.I. Joe.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Jason says, should I be getting a trailer for Rogue today? Hope she's a Vanguard. Oh, is that coming out today? It'll probably come out when we're live. It'll probably come out at like 11 o'clock or so. Let me know if it pops up. All right, let's go. We got that one done. All right, so let's go to Netflix here. I think this is a shorter story. We talked about Netflix yesterday. Made a change. Yesterday, I was asked if Netflix was in debt. I didn't think they were. I educated myself yesterday and said they are in debt, right? They're like 70 billion. Actually, let me see how much they are. Let's see. Yeah, so Netflix has a significant debt, which is increasingly dramatic due to the massive $72 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers if they go, adding over $60 billion in new debt, okay, on top of that. So existing obligations around $14.5 billion pre-deal. The Netflix aims to reduce the leverage post-acquisition analysts. So they're in debt, okay? Pre-acquisition, Netflix is actually in debt $14.5 billion before Warner Brothers. And if they pick up Warner Brothers, then there'll be $70 billion in debt. So a $14.5 billion debt is buying a $50 billion debt from Warner Brothers, is what they're saying. Okay. But on top of that, Netflix is considered buying EA, it reports. They also wanted to buy other things as well. Okay. Netflix here says Netflix reportedly considered to buy EA, Fox, and Disney before they decided to acquire Warner Brothers. So they were one of the people that was up for Fox, but Disney bought them, right? And then they wanted to buy Disney. Now, remember what I said a long time ago about Netflix, where they're not in the gaming market right now, right? And they were slowly trying to build up their own studios and whatnot, but then they just wanted to buy a company. And I've spoken about this in the past about large corporations that just... Right now, we look at it as PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, and everyone's like, oh, these are the leaders or whatnot. And we've had conversations about where Netflix could come in, or Google could come in, or Apple could come in, or Amazon could come in and just buy a big player and then all of a sudden be that thing, right? We've talked about it in the past about someone just buying Sony, right? Or buying Microsoft and just being that member, like that entity over. Okay. Because back in 2012, 2014, Sony was having problems and people were talking about Apple might buy Sony, like PlayStation section, right? Like this could happen, right? We've talked about Netflix maybe purchasing Take-Two or Grand Theft Auto or getting exclusive, just putting that over there on Netflix. Okay. These are things that we just hypothesize about and say it could happen. And everyone's like, no, 30, it'll never happen. And then yet you hear reports like this now where Netflix was interested in buying Fox. They were interested in buying Disney. They were interested in buying, all EA. They were interested in all of these other big corporations. And think about this. They didn't get EA. EA has a couple of titles. They have a lot of titles. WB Games has a lot more titles than IPs as well. if Netflix does this, they take that whole catalog of stuff, and all of a sudden, now Netflix is a contender, especially since Netflix, you can play their games on their app right now, on your mobile device, on your television set, right? And if Netflix wins the deal with WB, then all of a sudden WB games are on Netflix. And all of a sudden Netflix becomes the next Game Pass, right? Because you're paying a monthly subscription for Netflix and there's games on there, and there could be different tiers and different things and whatever's going on, right? So if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Netflix considered buying EA, a report says. Before going after Warner Brothers, Netflix reportedly showed interest in buying EA and 2 other movie studios. Okay. As 2025 winds down, the new biggest potential acquisition of the year appeared to be the $55 billion deal at EA by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. And other investors are more recent progress of $82 billion agreement for Netflix to buy Warner Brothers Studios. And now a new report suggests that Netflix once considered buying EA and 2 other movie studios before Warner Brothers negotiations came together. According to Bloomberg, Netflix executives previously debated whether or not the streamers should place bids for EA, Fox, and Disney. However, the management team reportedly couldn't agree on the deal and feared that it's the interests of those companies would hurt its standing with investors. Okay. The report doesn't include details about when Netflix considered these acquisitions, especially since Disney is usually the company that buys other studios, including Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm. Disney purchased Fox, the entertainment asset, in 2019 following an extended approval process from a government agency around the world. It makes you wonder why Disney paid so much. They paid it was like $74 billion for Fox, which is at the time was the biggest deal. Well, they probably paid more for it to keep it away from Netflix. Hence why Paramount's offering $108 billion to try to keep it away from Netflix. Okay. So it says neither of Warner Brothers nor EA deals are guaranteed to go forward, since both of them have to win regulatory approval after facing heavy scrutiny. Both, however, have major implications for the video game industry. If the EA deal is completed, Saudi Arabia, PIF, will reportedly gain majority control of the company. All right. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Elizabeth Warren raised their concerns about foreign influence on EA. In regulatory filing last month, EA claimed that it would also retain creative control of the company. Now, as far as for Netflix and Warner Brothers, the deal would also leave the former in charge of Mortal Kombat, Batman, Harry Potter video game franchises. The streamer demonstrated greater ambition for the gaming industry until 2024, when it shut down AAA multiplayer shooter. For the team, it also included Halo, Destiny veterans Joe Staten. In October, boss fight of the studio behind Netflix, Squid Game Unleashed mobile game, was closed by the streamer. Okay, so they've gone and closed their other studios, and it makes you wonder, well, why do they do that? They're like, why should we invest in all of these things, right, to make games that are new IPs and stuff, when they were in the running for EA? They were in the running. Do you know how much money that would have been for EA? I'm sorry, for Netflix, if they got the EA bid? Because if they get the EA bid and all the sports games, all of a sudden you can play Madden and whatnot on Netflix all over the place, and they can monetize that with a monthly subscription instead of purchasing the game, that would be huge for Netflix. Now, I'm not saying they wouldn't charge the $70. What I'm saying is that they could take Madden and FIFA and all these other things, and they could have implemented them into Netflix, right? They could do this with all the other games and stuff if they happen to get Warner Brothers catalog of stuff. Okay, that'll be a huge catalog. Makes you wonder if they're not in talks to get exclusivity to get certain games to be on their platform for a bit. But who knows, right? Companies need to eat. Okay, they all do the salute. They all have to go up, and they have a lot of money to spend. Even if they're in debt, they want to keep growing. They got to keep expanding. Okay. So again, we look at the line right now and we say, oh, well, PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo are the big players on the block. Okay. But all it takes is one company to come in and buy an entity like EA, like Warner Brothers Games or Warner Brothers Studios or whatever. And all of a sudden they go from non-existent to being one of the big three within a blink of an eye because they have more money, right? And this is just going to get worse as time goes on. because when Netflix, if they get the Warner Brothers media at some point down the line, either Netflix / Warner Brothers is going to get so big, they're going to buy someone else that's also big, if it's Paramount Skydance or if it's, Disney itself. And they're all going to go under one umbrella, right? This is what we don't like. This is what we don't want. But at some point, this is what's going to happen. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you guys think if Netflix, do you think Netflix, if they get WB, if they win this bid, okay, do you think Netflix all of a sudden becomes a contender in the cloud space, the video subscription space for video games, like a Game Pass, like Amazon Luna, right? Do you think 5 years from now, Netflix is one of the big 5 players in gaming? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Sarge says, but if you keep buying companies, you can buy yourself out of debt. It's easy. Mo says the WB also has a video and movies. Yep. Speaking of the shows, my wife and I are watching Dr. Pimple Popper. Great show, Dr. Pimple Popper. I don't even know what the hell that is. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's a doctor that pops pimples. Is that what that is? I mean, is it self-explanatory in the title? Sounds gross. Whatever it is. Sounds gross. Let's see. We have another story here. Dolphin says it's a terrible show. All right, this one seems interesting. This came across our Discord feed here. I don't want to subscribe. No, I don't want to subscribe. Thank you. Okay. This next story is the Supreme Court will decide if Sony can turn off your internet if you pirate their content in a $1 billion lawsuit. I'm assuming this has to do with movies and not video games. I'm assuming. Okay. Not sure. This is from last week, December 1st. But let's read this, shall we, and figure out what this is going about. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. It says the Supreme Court will decide if Sony can turn off your internet if you pirate their content in a $1 billion lawsuit. So today, on December 1st, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments of the closing watch copyright dispute of the pits of music industry against one of the nation's largest internet providers in the case that could reshape online liability for decades to come. Okay, so it's about music. At the heart of the litigation, whether Cox Communications, country's biggest privately held broadcast company, can be held financially responsible for illegal copying and distributing thousands of copyright songs by its customers. Okay, major record labels and music publishers, including Sony Music Entertainment and more than 50 other companies, accuse Cox of willfully turning a blind eye to rampant piracy on its network. The behavior, they say, is a cost of the industry billions of dollars annually. The Federal Bureau of Virginia agreed that with the labels of 2019 awarding a staggering $1 billion verdict after finding that Cox failed to reasonably address repeat infringements and refused to terminate accounts chronic offenders. The Richmond-based Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals later vindicated that ordered a new trial of damages upheld the core findings of the Cox could also be reliable for material contributing to customers' copyright violations. Okay, the Supreme Court declined to review the labels, challenging the appeals of court damage, ruling but agreed that the examiner of Cox's broader argument that the internet service provider cannot be held secondary liable for piracy unless the activity participated or encouraged the illegal activity. Mere knowledge of the infringement or failure to stop it, Cox contends, is not enough. The company warned the Fourth Circuit standard would also transform broader providers into a de facto enforcer required disconnect entire household, business, hospitals, military bases, and hotels whenever automated infringement notice arrives. Often based on truly an IP address, unverified allegations from third-party monitoring firms such as a rule, Cox argues threatens universal internet access, invites abuse of the notice system by overzealous copyright holders that also could force them to cut the internet service customers based solely on the complaint by companies like Sony. That'd be freaking all right, imagine for a second you're in a hospital. One of your loved ones or someone's in the hospital, you're waiting in the waiting room. You decide you have an Android phone and you want to download some illegal music that you're listening to on one of your sites that you're doing. And all of a sudden it detects it and it says, because Cox is the service provider of that hospital and they know the person that's sitting in the lobby is using it for whatever reason to copyright music that's against the law, they're going to shut down the entire internet service for the hospital. I don't know if you could shut off the provider. Wouldn't you just do the IP? Now, I understand that's hard to do because of VPNs and whatnot, but that seems a little over, right? Like you turn the knob like left to right. They're like, well, you're stealing us and we're losing billions of dollars, so now we're going to shut down the entire internet for you. I don't know, man. That seems a little too big of a swing. Yeah, VPN, 100%. Right? That position was also attracted unusually broader coalition of supporters. The Department of Justice tech giant includes Google and X, public interest groups, and the American Civil Liberties Union have also filed briefs backing Cox. Civil Liberties advocates emphasizes the risk of collateral harm when the entire family, medical facility, or dormitory loses connectivity because of one person. There you go. It's exactly right. Okay? Alleged conduct sometimes committed by a guest or even a neighborhood stealing Wi-Fi. I imagine that for a second. You're in your neighborhood. Right? I don't have this problem because we don't have a lot of close neighbors, but you're outside your house. Someone noticed that you have an open Wi-Fi network. And then someone steals your internet, right? Uses your Wi-Fi to do exactly what they're doing. And then all of a sudden that person loses the internet and they're like, why did I lose my internet? And they're like, well, that's because you were doing downloaded stuff. You're like, I wasn't doing anything. It's like, well, this is IP, so you're responsible for that. It's like, what? How am I responsible for what someone else is doing on the internet? Right? That's crazy. Okay. The music industry and the allies dismiss those concerns as exaggerated fear-mongering. Court files reveal that the peer-to-peer file sharing traffic once accounted for more than 1/5 of all upstream data on Cox network. The internal company emails show that employees openly mocking obligations under the Digital Minimum Copyright Act rather than implemented graduated warnings, temporary suspensions, and other intermediate measures used by many peers. Cox allegedly adopted a policy to ignore most infringing companies to avoid losing subscribers. I mean, this is why they don't ban cheaters in video games. It's exactly why they don't ban, all right? Because they would lose customers, and they don't want to do that, right? This is just another version of that. Okay. It says trade groups for recording artists, songwriters, film studios argue that Cox had numerous less drastic tools available. Okay. Choose profits over compliance. The frame case as last resort effort compelled meaningful corporations from providers after years of failed voluntary. Okay. A ruling against Cox could expose internet providers nationwide for crushing liability and push them towards stricter anti-piracy policies. A victor of Cox, right, further entrenches that music industry long struggle of curb online infringement, and the era of streaming has largely moved to streaming platforms, but illegal downloading and streaming remain persistent. No matter what you do, okay, they can go through this whole process and they can find people and shut people's internet down, but you know what keep happening? The exact same thing. You know why? 3 letters. VPN. It doesn't matter if they go and change the rules of the internet, okay? People are going to find exploits. Gamers are going to game. People that want to find the stuff that they want to find will find a way to find a thing online, okay? And if you ban this in this section for this Comcast user or this AT&T user, guess what? They'll stay in the exact space they're in right now in their house. They'll take a VPN and go across the ocean, come back to something else, and still do the exact same thing. And you're never, ever going to stop this. Okay? You think you could curb it or try to minimize it, but you're not. You're actually going to make more people do it because they're like, why am I going to pay Cox internet, okay, if they can just shut it down for me doing what I want? This is a problem with a lot of things out there, right? Right? Oh, they'll eventually just block the VPNs. Not hard to do. And then you just keep moving. You just keep moving. Like, what are we talking about, Quintar? Right? If they could do that, then they could do that now. But they're not doing that now. They're trying to circumvent the internet companies and saying you're responsible for the people that are using your internet. But they're just providing a service. They're providing a service of, this is the internet. What you do with the internet is up to you. Okay? Like, the little message in front of the VCR or the VHS or the DVD that says, if you copy this or distribute it in other ways, it's legal actions. You could copy and do whatever you want until you get caught when you're selling it. Then it's your problem. They can't find it. So what they're trying to do is, because they can't circumvent it, they're just like, oh no, we're just going to go after the internet company. Now, the internet company is the bad guys. Don't get me wrong. But in this situation, you're punishing the many for the few. Where the few could just keep bouncing around and keep doing what they want to do, and you're never going to catch them. You're never going to stop this. It's just going to be circumvented to another thing, and other people are going to do the next thing. So whatever the outcome of the decision expected in June of 2026 will carry implications far beyond the music, potentially influencing how courts treat online platforms ranging from broadband networks to cloud storage services of future copyright distribution. Yeah. You could download... This is so... Here's an example, right? I can take I'm allowed, as a customer, I could take a DVD that I bought and own, and I can put that on my computer and back it up, okay? And because I put it on my backup, and maybe I put it on my cloud server or whatever it is, if this goes through, okay, I can no longer... Now, obviously, I'm not selling that copy. I am just making a copy of that movie for myself, okay? You can't prove otherwise. I'm making a copy of that for myself. I put it on my cloud thing. It gets detected as I'm stealing the thing, even though I'm making a backup copy. Okay. Yet, now I'd be flagged. Now I lose my internet. They would get sued. I would get sued, and all of these things. And I wasn't trying to do anything nefarious, right? I wasn't trying to sell it. I wasn't trying to do anything, but it detects it and says, this person is moving this music from here to there, or this movie from here to there. They're using it for illegal substance. They're using it for monetary value or whatever. It's like, that's not what we're doing. I didn't steal anything. I bought the actual thing. I'm making a backup. They would not know the difference, right? So now someone gets in trouble because they're doing something that they're to do, right? You are allowed to make copies of your stuff because you purchased the actual thing. You're just not allowed to sell those things. Interesting to see what happens. And again, this is just with the music industry, but you know, if it goes with the music industry, it's going to go for the videos. If it goes for videos, then it'll go for everything else that's out there as well. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Do you think the court case is going to go towards Sony, or do you think it's going to go towards the actual cable companies? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Jason says 30 Rivals just released the dev update trailer. There's some rogue footage. All right, we'll look it up. Oh, they will eventually block the VPNs. Jason said VPN is a must if you're a wrestling fan living in the US. I have a VPN that's on the holidays. I get a year of it for $50, and it's pretty damn good. It does what I need. Aku says Illinois has just banned VPNs, I think. Just Winter Splash. Oh, wait, let me go to... Is this Rivals? No. New skin, Cloak and Dagger. New skin for Penny Parker. Creative director. There we go.
Hello everyone, Guang here. It's fantastic to see
I know people are going to make fun of his voice and stuff. Subtitles are on so you can hear him or read what he's here or what he's saying.
you all again. Welcome to Season 5.5 of Marvel Rivals. Season 5 saw Gambit pull off a daring heist within the Collector's Museum, stealing the contract the Grandmaster was after. But the Collector was one step ahead, having hidden a real contract elsewhere. When Rogue awoke in the middle of the night,
Her model looks really good. She looks really good.
to find Gambit missing, both Remy's mission and their sweet honeymoon began to unravel. Disappointed and hurt, Rogue's anger boiled over, making it even harder to control the new powers she gained after a
What was that? There was like a little glitch happening. Hold on one second.
unravel. Disappointed and hurt, Rogue's anger boiled over, making it even harder to control the new powers she gained after accidentally touching the Columbium die. Now, in Season 5.5, Rogue makes her debut in Marvel Rivals. She enters the fray as a vanguard, combining her immense strength with Columbium energy. Rogue charges into enemy lines with powerful melee abilities, opening opportunities for her team. Of course, we haven't forgotten her signature ability, Power Absorption.
How's this going to work?
During
I mean, I would assume it works like Loki where he steals their ability and
battle,
stuff, right?
Rogue can take down an enemy hero and absorb abilities from them, gaining a basic buff based on their role. She may even steal a signature ability, like Doctor Strange's
See, that's cool. That's cool. That's exactly how we thought she'd work, right? When we first thought about it, before she was even thought of coming to the game, right? When we talked about Loki stealing abilities and how she could steal abilities the same.
Shield of the Seraphim, or Loki's regeneration domain. And that's not all. When Rogue activates her ultimate, she continuously drains ultimate ability energy from
Oh, wow. So when she goes her ultimate, it drains other people's ultimates. That's big.
nearby enemies, giving her team the edge and gaining further buffs based on their roles, making her a true powerhouse on the battlefield. This update brings another round of team-up ability changes. We are removing the mental projection team-up ability between Emma Frost and Psylocke. Emma Frost will now join Chilling Assault, gaining the new ability Ice Out Diamond. She can unleash a cone of frost to slow enemies and use her diamond form to create a wall of diamond ice.
This is one of the main reasons when they do these team ups that the game still stays relevant.
Blocking enemy movement. Psylocke joins Sword of Duality, gaining control over light and dark energy. With light energy, she throws a returning shuriken that damages enemies and heals allies. When it returns, it heals Psylocke based on the number of targets hit. With dark energy, she scatters a ring of darts, damaging enemies in range and entering a phase state, becoming invisible. Rogue joins Explosive Entanglement. Gambit channels kinetic energy into Rogue, and when she activates the ability, every attack she makes damages enemies around her and heals nearby allies. The full balance patch notes will be released in a few hours. Stay tuned. Jeff's Winter Splash Festival returns. This time,
They always rely on Jeff for everything, huh?
in the new map, Jeffland. This map features an all-new 3-way brawl with 3 unique Jeff builds, each with their own skill set, bringing even more fun and color to the winter season. Plus, we have a series of holiday and winter-themed costumes and festive events lined up to help everyone celebrate this.
Is that Groot? Oh no, that's Penny. That's Penny's mech. I was like, wait a minute.
Joyful time of the year. Jeff's Winter Space Festival and all the holiday special events kick off right after the December 18th update. Get ready. And don't miss the all-new mystery burger at Pim's Test Kitchen in Times Square. Also available after the December 18th update. Eat it, and you might be surprised by the results.
The hell are they doing with that?
Eat it.
Tim's Test Kitchen. So they're bringing something in,
and you might be surprised by the results. Zhiyong is still working on balance changes. Stay tuned for news on balance and detailed team-up ability changes. And as always, ignite the battle.
She looks good. She looks good. Another W, in my opinion, for them. Bringing her in. Indiana Jones Great Circle released 1 year ago, and we're also celebrating by giving all players a Palace outfit available for free. So they're giving free stuff out for that. Yeah, her character model looks really good. Yeah, it looks good. Maybe we get our first real trailer for Iron Man, but who knows? Oh, for the Game Awards? Perhaps. I don't think it's coming out early next year. I think it's coming out late, if anything. Maybe it comes out in the summertime? I don't know. Who knows? If I was them, I wouldn't release Iron Man until late next year during this time when, the movie comes out and stuff like that. Even though it has nothing to do with the movie, you want to put something Marvel-esque related to a Marvel movie coming out. Let's see what else is going on here. Starting next Thursday, December 18th, players can grab a mystery burger from Pim's Test Kitchen, the new Times Square social hub. Eat it, and you might be surprised by the results. You get shrunk down. I think they should bring in Ant-Man 100% inside of this. He would think how visually that would look awesome. Where all of a sudden they bring Ant-Man into the game and you shrink, everyone gets gigantic, but all of a sudden you become like this super powerful person. Like you're so tiny. Like, it would visually be cool for you to see. It'd be really hard for other people to see. Now, obviously, it would have to be his special ability or something along those lines, right? It'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if they did the thing they did from Marvel where, shrink up, go up, go inside them and like blow them up and stuff like that. It'd be funny if your special move was to shrink down and then it doesn't show you inside, but it just shows you absorb inside them and just explode the person. That would be pretty fucking hilarious if they did something like that. That would be pretty funny. That'd be cool to see, though. If one of your abilities, or all of a sudden you get on a flying ant or bee or something. When did they say what? When did they say about the Pym stuff? It just says eat the burger. It just says eat the burger. It says starting Thursday, December 18th, Marvel Rivals, players can grab a mystery burger from Pim's Test Kitchen, new Times Square social hub, eat it, and you might be surprised by the results. Let's see. EA says it's still being made, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know if they're still working on Iron Man or not. I'm assuming they are. They didn't say they canceled it, so. Star Wars digital collectible card game in development with 036 Studio and CCG Lab. Who said it? Was it Altern? Altern, did you say this the other day? Did you say this the other day? We talked about a card game. Was that yesterday? Or was that last week when we were making fun of something saying it was like a card game? The Star Wars digital collectible card game in development. Hey, everyone was... It was yesterday, wasn't it? It was yesterday. We talked about Star Wars... And we're like, watch it. And I think Altern said, watch, it's a card game. And then we joked about it, saying it would be like a... He said something about a kart racing game. And we all said, no, it's a card game / right? We're all thinking about a huge game. Star Wars card game could be the game that's coming out. That'd be fucking hilarious. Minecraft, Mounts of Mayhem charges into Minecraft today. Choose your steed, master the spear, outsmart your foes, both familiar, new to, and become a true champion. Mount up and ride Mayhem today. Read more about it. Is this in the main game, or is this... Mounts of Mayhem are here. Watch the official trailer, okay? Is this in the main game now? Everything can ride mounts now. I thought mounting was already in the game. I thought mounts were already in the game. Am I wrong about that? Am I wrong about the mount thing? The last time, here, I'm looking up stuff right now. The last time they said anything about Iron Man in the news cycle was June 4th. Iron Man, Spider-Man, no, that's not, that's it. That's for token. The last time I talked about Iron Man is on May 29th. EA is still making at least 3 Marvel games, even Black Panther even after the Black Panther cancellation. There's nothing on let's see. Here's one that says 3 days ago, EA's Iron Man game has major single-player levels. EA's Iron Man game may feature massive single-player levels for exploration. A new job listing of EA's Motive Studios is seeking a level designer who would also have design and build major single-player levels. So there's that. Yeah, but Travis, why do you do that? why are you getting defensive over something when someone says exactly what Jason said? Like, it's not a credible source. That's a fact, right? And then you come to the defense of saying it's more credible than an idiot, and then you make fun of someone else. General manager 1 month ago, which we covered, interviewed a general manager of Marvel Games Insight for several of the big projects of the team. There's nothing that talks about that Iron Man is canceled or not canceled or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. He just starts just calling people out left and right, even though that's not even part of the conversation. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the conversation, though. You said something. He asked, where did you find it? You said you got it from this person. He's saying that's not credible because it's not credible. There's no story talking about it. If you have a story, put it up. Post it. That's what this channel's about. If you have something you want me to cover it, then post the story. Right? If there's no story, then that's not credible. If you have the story, just link it. We'll read the story. If there's no story, then there's no conversation. It doesn't make sense. Neither is anything they've ever said. Also, you just read 3 days ago that they said they hired a person for a single player level. That means it's still being made. 3 days ago, I didn't read a story. 3 days ago was Saturday. They hired someone for Disney for an unannounced game, is what we read yesterday. You just said the article was posted 3 days ago? No, what I said was 3 days ago, Iron Man game has a major single player levels. I didn't read that 3 days ago. I just read that now. And what it says is, a source says, okay, that EA's Iron Man game, it features a massive single player level of exploration, a new job listing. It just says that they're still working. It's not canceled. No one said it was canceled. I'm just saying, you're saying one thing. I just said this. You said it was 2 weeks ago. I'm saying it when I just looked up now. That's the only thing I found. Right? You can't bring up anything. Right? The difference of me and you is I'm looking up something and giving you facts. You're just ranting stuff and then tearing people down by yelling at them or calling them names as you do. And then we do this whole process again, right? You'll message me, say, my bad, didn't understand, didn't do this, apologize, and then do the same shit over and over again like a broken record. Right, new job listing means still being made. Sure. Until it's not. Right? Nothing means nothing until they actually say something. And if they don't say anything, because that's someone going, hey, there's a posting for the thing, but the game company itself, Motive, or EA, hasn't said shit about nothing about the actual game, which is the main point in the very beginning of the conversation. Okay? There's a difference between me saying an idea and then passing it off as fact. Okay? And there's a difference between when EA comes out. For instance, they still haven't told us the actual game sales of Assassin's Creed or anything else, but people take what they hear and say, oh, well, it sold this many. But then they've never come out, the actual people have never come out and said the actual game sales. But people run around and say that it is. Here's a 2-minute trailer for Ashes of from Ashes, the new expansion for the popular first-person action adventure game Avatar. Now, I said this when the game first came out. I said it's kind of weird that they released the game so earlier than the actual movie, because the movie got pushed back, I think, a year or two? And then they pushed this game out. Didn't it come out in like 2020? Was it 2024 or 2023? At the end of 2023, right? I think it was 2023. So it's been, 2 years since this game came out? And now they're doing an update to update it because the movie's coming out, to link it, to advertise for it, to make better sales.
I answer to Varang.
You will be the one to finish Sotlek.
But we will have this so-called dog-tag warrior.
Oh, come on.
Sarentu.
Is my name too hard? Come on, I'll race you.
We did not expect to see your trade so soon.
Our journey here was not easy. A darkness moves at the
It's all third person now, right?
forest's edge.
The RDA have new allies, Sotlek.
It has been many years, warrior. Do you remember me? And I have not forgotten what I owe you.
I have a question. Did they just make this into a movie game where they took the storyline from the movie and added it to this? Is this going to ruin the movie before it comes out?
Just you and me now, Sotlek. And I see you.
Give me the fight! I am out! Watch me cut every one of your family.
When does the movie come out? Avatar Frontiers of Pandora from the Ashes. Expansion available on December 19th. Main game playable now. When does the movie come out? Does it come out the same day? December 19th. Yeah. Comes out the... Oh, wait. Yeah, it comes out the same day. Avatar Fire and Ash, the third film in the series, is scheduled for release on the United States globally on December 19th, 2025. No, wait a minute. Avatar the Ash is the world premiered Hollywood on December 1st. United States on December 19th. Okay, yeah, so it does come out the same. I'm confused because a lot of the articles are popping up the movie and the game. Yeah, so it comes out the exact same day. So there could be crossover and actually could ruin the movie if you play the game. Interesting. My big takeaway for the Game Awards this year is the actual date for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator when they come out. That's what I'm hoping for the Game Awards. That's my bar, right? I don't care about anything else. I just want to know the date released for when the American Truck or Euro Truck is coming to console. That's it. Eclipse says, "I'll get it when it's $20 for everything." Well, it's funny because when did the Avatar game release? It was 2023, was it not? It's been out for 2 years. Oh, that's a good one too, Argus. Light No Fire release date. I would be excited about that as well. Yeah, December 7th, 2023. So it's been 2 years since that game came out already. That's crazy. And now they added the third-person mode and some DLC 2 years later. Good old Ubisoft. This game was on sale. Yeah, you can buy it right now. Standard edition, typically $30. You can also get it for $26 on Steam right now. I don't know about right now. On Steam, even lower at times. Yeah, you can get Avatar. You can get Avatar Frontiers of Pandora right now for $14 at Walmart. $14. GameStop selling it for $20. How much is the DLC? How much is the DLC? $40. Pandora DLC price varied with the season pass. No. What's the new one? Yeah, 34. Starter packs around $24 to $34, and the newer From Ashes of price around $25 standalone. $25 for the standalone for that one. So you could get the game plus the expansion for $45. Yeah, the update for the game is free, Eclipse. The third person expansion is free. Like not expansion, update is free. So there's a lot of actual content for this game that came out in 2 years, right? You get the season pass for $30 to $40, includes the Skybreaker, Secrets of the Spires, From Ashes expansion, $24 alone, standalone. Secrets of the Spires, $20. The Breaker is $15 to $20, and the starter pack, which is the Skyrider and Storm Chaser, which is whatever. Or you go to Ubisoft Plus for $18. Wait, I have a question. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Did they put Avatar on? Oh no, it's not part of the classic stuff for Ubisoft. I was saying, is Avatar on Game Pass? Yeah, see, Ubisoft Plus right now is $30. $30 digitally for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. or you get the complete edition for $60 for complete edition of Avatar. That gets you Avatar from the Ashes edition plus the Pandora edition, which I don't know if that's all the season passes as well. I'm not sure. So it's $10 more if you buy it on digital on the actual console, and it's $40 just for the Ashes edition. Is $40. It's a co-op game as well. I didn't know that. It's a co-op game. Jack says, I've seen the Red Dead Redemption free upgrade on Xbox Store. Right now, some are still waiting. I might get it for $14. Is that the physical one? Yeah, it seems like it's the physical one at the stores. Nothing better than the $18 to play their top tier games for cheap. Guys, I just wanted to let you know, Miss Piggy will be at the Game Awards. Miss Piggy will be at the Game Awards. Skyrim on Nintendo Switch 2 for you, featuring improvements such as enhanced resolution, improved load times, optimized performance, and more. Skyrim Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is the full name of Ubisoft's practical remake. More leaks than Unsucking Ship. So apparently the remake is coming out for that. Netflix says Warner Brother Games' arm is relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. What else is going on here? Yeah, listing of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has appeared on the PEGI website. I gotta go back and play Star Wars: The Knights of the Republic. Guys, don't forget, just a couple days from now, we are going to have the Generation X Gaming podcast over on this channel, on YouTube, over on Twitch. Actually, I don't know if I'll do Twitch. It might just be on YouTube, just because the way that the program works. Maybe we'll do it on Twitch as well. But what's it called? We're doing GXG. Joining us is Kingard, Greg Owen, and also the Real Fake Wizard will join us on the live event. We're going to watch the Game Awards and give you, just we're going to be bullshitting as the Game Award goes on. You can watch it with us. I do recommend, if you do watch it with us, that you watch it on a separate, watch the show itself on a separate one. Don't watch it through our stream. You can listen to us. Obviously, I want you to watch, but it's going to be clunky because of what's it called? StreamYards. StreamYards does this weird thing. It's just, I don't know why it does it, but it's just weird. Oh, this is interesting. Microsoft Flight Sim. Enter the world of Netflix Stranger Things. Explore faithful recreations of Hawkins and help save the town in Microsoft Simulator 2024. They added Stranger Things inside of Microsoft Flight Sim. What a weird matchup. What a weird matchup. Alpha Fox Kello Gamer says, interesting. Yeah, it's weird, right? Yeah, why? Because Netflix is like, we got to spend some money. Yeah. What a weird collaboration. I mean, whatever, you know? I mean, I don't hate it. It just wasn't on my bingo card. Like, hey, what are you guys excited for? I'm excited for the Stranger Things to come to Microsoft Flight Sim. People have been like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I just wish there was a Stranger Things, Stranger Things expansion inside a little event that happened in Microsoft Flight Sim out of like all the games that you could bring it into. What is this? Ninjago coming to Fortnite. We read this last week, but apparently it's a whole game mode now. I mean, it's a big... I don't know if you guys know this, but Ninjago is a huge IP for Lego. I always thought... I think it's really cool what Lego's doing with the Fortnite Lego thing. It's weird, though, that it's in Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, Lego was like, we could make our own game, but why do that when we can just be in the game that everyone's playing, right? I like the survival stuff that they've added. I like when they did the Star Wars stuff. This looks pretty cool as well. It's very interesting. It's very interesting in what they're doing. Yeah, okay. I hung up the phone. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks pretty cool anyway. It's just weird that Lego couldn't make, which again is weird because Lego games are very successful when they make those adventure games like the Star Wars, Indiana Jones. But every time I try to do an open world stuff, they completely screwed it up in multiple ways. Xbox is teasing big things for the 25th anniversary in 2026. Okay. I guess we can put that in Discord and talk about that tomorrow. All right, what else we got going on here? Can't believe Indiana Jones is 1 year already. Lego Games is celebrating 30 years. Lord of the Rings stories with Lego's humor has also been an incredible experience. What are some of your favorite Lego games? You guys ever play the Lego one? The Lego Lord of the Rings? Good. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Buster Sword almost had more realistic version. Oh, you Trekkie fans out there. You Trekkie fans. That's a cool Lego build. Speaking of Lego. That's a cool build. How many pieces? 3,600 pieces? 3,600 pieces? That's pretty cool. Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy, upcoming CRPG set in grim dark universe. Warhammer 40,000 has revealed new gameplay screenshots. There you go. Looks very cool. There's so many 40K video games. Crazy. Altern says they changed their survival a lot to the point where the previous gear is useless. Well, yeah, that's how they make you go back and play again. That's how they make you go back and play again. They want you to reset. Just think of it as an expedition in Arc Raiders, Altern. You'll be fine. Tomb Raider is going to show up at the Video Game Awards show. What else we got going on here? Yeah, I already read that, Krebsy. Yeah, the Skyrim Switch 2 edition. IGN reports that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are finally getting a first-person video game that's a VR game. Both novel approach of Heroes in the Half Shell seems to work quite well in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City, though, based on the initial first impressions. Wait, is this game coming out soon? Is this do they actually have footage of this? This is a VR.
Yeah, nunchucks! It's kind of insane that I never realized how perfectly Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would work as a VR game. VR action games famously feature loads of jumping and climbing, which our Turt Bros do a whole bunch of on Manhattan rooftops, sneaking around to do melee action, and having to learn...
it's a VR game, Sarge. That's why it's in first person.
How to parry and dodge incoming attacks is also something the Reptilian heroes are known for.
I think it's fine if it's VR.
Or that has been done well in many VR
They did it with Deadpool. Why not do it with other things? Like You Are the Character. Batman was fantastic.
Games. And because these Heroes in a Half Shell appear most commonly as cartoons, you don't have to worry about shooting for photorealistic graphics and the technical VR bottlenecks that sometimes come with it.
Can you hack it?
I mean, I don't want to brag. All right, it's settled. But yes, I can.
In other words, why in the heck did it take us so long to get this pizza-powered quartet into a VR game? No matter the reason, I'm glad it's finally happening with TMNT Empire City, and the 15-minute demo I played was enough to sell me on this tubular action-adventure.
I'll find you. I should be charging you guys pay-per-view!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City is exactly the kind of game you'd expect from the titular
The movement and when you move is going to feel a little weird when you put the headset on.
Masked heroes. I spent my time fighting members of the Foot Clan as each member of the TMNT crew, including their iconic weapons of choice like Leonardo's katanas and Donatello's bow staff.
That's pretty cool.
Running and jumping across city skylines in pursuit
It does
of justice.
seem pretty basic though, but it's a
and
demo
being
he's
out
playing.
back in my sewer base and eating pizza. Doing all of that in VR is exactly as fun as it sounds, meaning it's super fun, and it's especially amusing to look down at your turtle body and remember, oh yeah, I'm an anthropomorphic mutated reptile. Unfortunately, the section I played was limited entirely to the tutorial, so I was mostly just learning the ropes, like how to hack into electronic devices as Donatello, since he does machines, or how to perform parries on those pesky, shredder-following Foot Clan. The fundamentals were definitely strong, as I was grinning ear to ear pretty much the whole time, but I'll be curious to see if Empire City can build on that to keep it interesting across an entire campaign.
This is the
For
tutorial
example, I only got to fight one boss at the very end of this introductory mission, and it lasted all of, I kid you not, 5 seconds as I dodged her opening attack and then wailed on her until she tapped out. Obviously, this fight was also a part of the tutorial, so it's hard to tell if
I hope the boss fights are a little longer than that.
things will get more challenging. But here's
Oh, it's Turtles though, Clips. You know it's going to be like $20, $30.
hoping. Something that would seem to indicate a deeper level of challenge is the fact that back at the base, there's a whole menu of upgrades to deal with. None of these were unlockable in the build I played from what I could tell, but it reminded me a bit of the upgrade system in Half-Life Alyx, where you're collecting parts throughout levels, then funnel it all into a machine to craft certain upgrades for your character. It's also just great to see them using Donatello's propensity for crafting gadgets brought to life via all the junk he stuffs in his pockets along the way.
Why don't they just pick the art style from the original cartoon?
Which his brothers made fun of him for doing, of course.
Trash, Johnny? I build with it.
Which leads me to one of my favorite parts of the demo, how perfectly Ninja Turtles it was. The banter between the brothers and their recognizable idiosyncrasies left me smiling, whether it was Leonardo's tendency to be way too serious all the time, Michelangelo's wisecracks,
Stack of crates, we meet again, thought Leo.
or Raphael's intensity and impatience.
Let's slap some makeup on these clowns!
That's
The
cool. It
unique
does
weapon
sound
aside,
and feel like
I
them.
never forgot which of the brothers I was because Empire City did such a good job of
What happened to that guy?
I never
He threw a
forgot
Chinese
which
star
of
at
the
him and just
brothers I
disappeared.
was because Empire City did such a good job of reminding me with its banter that was completely on point with the surprisingly good writing for which the series is known. I could easily imagine a world where this thing felt like a reskinned ninja game that felt completely generic, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Huge relief. They also do a really good job capturing the comic book Saturday morning cartoon art style with
I don't want to say Saturday morning cartoon, but yeah.
environments that look cel-shaded and goofy voice performances that are over the top and amusing.
Watch this! Sprint to jump to dash!
Sure, lots of the textures are fairly undetailed, but that works pretty perfectly with the straight from a comic book
I feel like you get nauseous the way you're moving this, though. You know what I mean?
vibe that this game is clearly shooting for. I could easily see myself spending a lot of time just hanging out in this world, exploring and fighting alongside friends. Which reminds me, will there be skateboarding in this? Why haven't they let me skateboard yet? One pretty huge thing I didn't get to see in action is how this will all work in 4-player co-op.
4-player co-op? Oh my god.
I can only imagine how much of a blast it's going to be to roll through with the full shell squad smacking enemies around, but the section of the demo I played felt pretty designed for a single player, and it's a bit difficult to imagine how this kind of gameplay might scale up for 4-player bouts.
Well, that's a lot of guys!
Presumably, there'd need to be many more enemies and fewer linear paths than the ones I crept through to make it work. Also, I can only imagine how silly it'll look to have teammates running around as big old green cartoon characters while swinging around nunchucks. I'll still need to see a fair bit more of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City before I can speak definitively on it. But so far, I'm pretty stoked by the potential.
When's
here,
this supposed to
and
come
I'm
out?
absolutely flabbergasted that it took us this long to get a first-person TMNT game. For more previews of the biggest upcoming games, don't miss our recent hands-on looks at Neo 3.
What? When is that supposed to come out? All right. That's about it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to play Arthur Morgan in the Red Dead Redemption show. Don't make a Red Dead Redemption show. Just go play the goddamn game. Don't make a show. Go play the game. Don't think it has a release date yet? Okay. I don't want a Red Dead Redemption show. There's Deadwood. There's a whole bunch of other Western shows out there that you can watch. Don't make a Red Dead Redemption show. Just stop. Just stop. All right. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no show this afternoon. I got to do more work on the shed. I'm going to put a second coat on. Other than that, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, to play some video games over on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. If you guys like it, come on out, hang out with us as we play some video games. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the daily grind. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Dashing through the quest on my favorite RPG. Loot drops all the way. What will I get today? Epic sword in sight, or a rare pet just for me. Oh, what fun it is to play and see what loot I'll see. Loot box under the tree. Open it and hope for rarity. Oh, what fun it is to play and get that epic today. Hey, loot box under the tree. Shiny skins and weapons for me. Oh, what joy it is to play and find that loot this holiday. Yeah, hey. Christmas lights are bright. My inventory's a mess. New DLC tonight. Gotta see what's the best. Golden gems I'll claim in this winter wonderland spree. Oh, I hope RNG gives me that legendary key. Loot box under the tree. Open it and hope for rarity. Oh, what fun it is to play and get that epic today. Hey, loot box under the tree. Shiny skins and weapons for me. Oh, what joy it is to play and find that loot this holiday. PvP battles call, rage to conquer all. With my friends online, we'll party through the night. Loot box under the tree. Open it and hope for